And we're live. Welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotal Arguments. Today we are absolutely ruthless. I am your host, Jay Fry, and with me is Sean and Macron. How's it going, Sean?
Doing well.
Oh, Garrick's not here, I guess. Guess I don't have to use that one. and Josh. How's it going, Josh?
What? What'd you say?
How's it going, Josh?
I don't need to poop. You're sick.
Operator, we have a bad connection. Give me Klondike 451 again.
You know,
Operator.
the thing.
The thing.
Hello.
Good morning.
No,
Good Sunday morning.
Ew.
I have a bit of an ear issue right now, so
Dude, it is
deaf old man. But I'm doing well, Jack.
That is still so damn weird, that whole Nancy Pelosi thing. I've been saying on Facebook the last couple of days, like it's not funny to call Joe Biden out for his dementia now that he clearly has dementia. It's much less fun to make that accusation.
Yeah, it's
but we got a lot on the show. Yeah, it's like now we're just making fun of a crazy person. Like that's just mean.
Sort of bad.
I would if he wasn't like just so fully embracing it.
I don't know that he's
damn well you're not going to make it, you piece of shit. He does, because he's clearly a part of it by the statement he makes to the people he talks to. The black guy he accused of doing heroin before the show. It's like the when did you stop beating your wife question guy about his cognitive decline.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's completely reasonable for us to ask somebody running for president if they're fucked up in the head. We're
2
allowed.
aneurysms and 2 brain surgeries already, and yeah.
Especially after, RBG. She's a perfect reason to show. She could have retired something like 6 years ago.
Right, but she
was at the start of this nonsense.
She was gambling in 2016 that Clinton would have won the election, and that's when she would have announced her retirement. Mm-hmm. And she just made a bad bet.
And we'll jump. Yeah, and we'll jump right into to talk about this particular bet of hers. I think it is completely. She was somebody who stood out and said, the court should be filled immediately. The seat should be filled with it should be expedited. She said with immediacy, I believe was the term she used. First off, fuck her for that. But secondly, it wasn't her wish to wait for the results of the election. She specifically said new president.
We're not waiting 4.5 years. 4.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll jump right into the talk about this particular bet of hers. I think it is completely reasonable for us to ask somebody running for president if they're fucked up in the head. We're not waiting 4.5 years. Yeah.
Although
So
that just
it wasn't until the
basically
result
means
of the
that they're going
election.
to rig the election. I mean, we can see them rigging it in real time. So
What?
yeah,
You're one of those crazy conspiracy
I
theorists.
guess. Yeah, and I prefer the term conspiracy analyst, sir.
Tin hat enthusiast. Uh, but yeah, just that's absolutely. I mean, it's not insulting to our intelligence because she doesn't believe we have intelligence.
Well, not anymore.
But I kind of wondered like how many times she's made that statement, like the couple of days before a surgery or something, because she's repeatedly had cancer. So she's had this almost death knell for repeatedly throughout the last 6 years.
Wasn't she
Most
originally
one of the most
diagnosed
invasive
in
cancer.
like 2009 or something?
Yes. So she's been on the hook for a decade, but you know, I think a lot of her pneumonias and stuff were were coming to um like I don't know, reinvestments. No, what's it called when um they reasserted themselves, the cancers.
So
Remission and then
they came out of remission.
unremission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I
always
can't think of the name of it.
referred to as come out of remission. I'm sure there's an actual clinical term that I am unaware of for that.
Unsurprisingly, they were more tenacious than the notorious RBG. So they were quite aggressive. So she died of that. The thing. I'm not one to honor her. I think she did a disservice. She is one of the more partisan people I've ever experienced in a position that was supposed to be nonpartisan. I can recognize her for what she is. One of the first, second, but one of the first females elected to the Supreme Court, and she really had an impressive life. I can grant her that, but also, fuck her. That is where I can separate myself from these crazy. It's not TDS. What is it? It's Trump derangement. What's the actual condition? No, it's Trump derangement syndrome is TDS. But the actual thing is something else. TD, Trump derangement.
Not sure.
Anyway, there's an actual thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, but I can see that she is, the thing. No, she's someone that the left is proud to claim. And there's a good reason for that. Amazing life. She's a Harvard graduate. She spent decades at the Supreme Court. Now, somebody was saying that she was appointed after Bill Clinton's impeachment. So before I started spouting that off, I had to go and check, and that's absolutely not true.
Yes,
she was put into office
years.
in.
So it was like Clinton's.
She's put into office in in '93.
Yeah, Clinton's first term.
And he was impeached in '98.
Yeah, and by the way,
I had to look that up to make sure.
Another argument point is if they're claiming that the president that makes these nominations needs to have the support of the full country and be elected by the majority of the people. Clinton was not elected by the majority of voters. He only won in plurality.
Yeah, there was a plurality. Yeah. You love to shit on Mars Pro for that. Fucking Perot.
Dude, I love Perot so much I went to work for him.
That's dedication.
I would not work for Trump. There's no way I would sign on with a guy whose favorite thing to do on TV is fire people.
Yeah.
Trump anxiety disorder, TAD. That's what it's called. It's in full display. It's crazy. But I don't know if Nancy Pelosi is particularly suffering from that or mini strokes to wish everybody. See, the only way I could think of that being not like a crazy thing is if she was at home in like a fake office, because it was Sunday morning, and a grandchild walked in, and she specifically, like the grandchild went, "You on TV?" or something like that, and you have to answer the kid before they, Hudson up the stream.
What are you saying?
Which is it? Nothing, bro. That's cool when I'm not here and you put yourself on silence for the entire 7 minutes I'm gone. That's something we don't ever discuss anymore. But that's still getting views. Fucking crazy. But anyway, that's the only way I can think of it as not being something ridiculously crazy, like a stroke.
I think what it
none
is
of this stupid talking shit in your ear.
No, I don't think it was that. I think that she got hit with a question she didn't have a canned answer for, and she needed to stall for time.
So I would once like again to thank you for having me on your beautiful show, press secretary for Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, that was the start of George Stephanopoulos.
Yep.
So if you don't want to claim that ABC, what the hell is?
Well, I'm sure he's not on Fox, but
Sunday show? What is that? That's ABC
or CBS?
I think it's ABC.
Might be. I don't know.
CBS has Good Morning America.
Well, CBS
I don't either.
on the weekends they have a Good Morning show, and it's actually normally pretty good. It's kind of like a news magazine, which nobody does anymore. So they usually have pre-done feel good bits for the morning shows, especially on Sunday morning. It might just be called Sunday Morning. If it's
Good
CBS.
morning, Sunday morning.
Yeah, so it might be CBS. I don't know. Let me look that up.
That's what we should have had. We should have had No Doubt Sunday Morning instead of your blood test negative or whatever the fuck you played.
Yeah, right. He works for ABC. So whatever it was ABC's show. So it wasn't Sunday Morning, which is on CBS.
Oh, so it's just crazy as shit. Got it.
Yeah, it's nuttier than a squirrel turd.
Speaking of, that's kind of been my issue with Blonde's defensive stuff lately. Is this is somebody's daughter? And I'm like, okay, I understand that you were 32 years old before you got empathy, but for the rest of us, fuck them. Like Hitler was somebody's son. Okay. Calm the fuck down. But, everyone shits on Hitler, but Hitler killed Hitler, and that makes him an American hero.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, to an extent, yes.
He wasn't hiding up in some attic writing in a diary.
I still love...
For trans rights.
I love just blowing or just confusing the shit out of dumb people's minds when I tell them, we should totally erect a statue to the guy who killed Hitler. And they're like, yeah, we should totally do that.
Dude, it's got like 800,000 signatures approving it. Do you know about the signature?
No, is there really a petition for that?
For a statue for the man who killed Hitler.
Good Lord. People are retarded.
A statue honoring the man who killed Hitler. Yeah. The only question I had was like, did he really shoot himself with a 45? That seems stupid.
Seems
Fine.
very undramatic.
Germans didn't have 45.
They did. They had
Yeah.
those war trophies.
Yeah, but I don't think he was presented with like, here's a 45, so yeah. I do like that when pushing the metric system to the Americas, we settled on only using it for our ammunition. I appreciate that. Fuck you, Europe. Removing the wooden doors on gas chambers, or replacing them with wooden doors to make it a lot less plausible. I was watching an episode of Bill Whittle, who I usually deeply enjoy, but he went off on a tangent about the Holocaust and how it was to question the Holocaust was to deny the deaths of 6 million Jews. And I'm like, that's the point, Bill. You don't understand.
Well, I mean,
in no mathematical ways, it's 6 million.
Concentration camps were a thing, and they were fucking horrible.
There were concentration camps, yes. Auschwitz, Barkow, not concentration camps. Those were work camps.
Or extermination camps, depending on the time period.
Dude, that's so stupid. No. It is incredibly easy to kill somebody. It is actually effortless to kill somebody. You don't need to gas them in a shower while running a motorcycle outside for the entire hour while they suffer and die to death, like it's being said in the in one of the videos I've seen about the death camps. They're all locked into individual cells. You just don't give them water for 4 days. They die all on their own. It's a very simple, cost-effective thing. You don't have to ship in Zyklon B, which doesn't actually kill people, or run them to death in devil vans that only produce carbon monoxide that doesn't kill people.
You can die from carbon
or
monoxide.
carbon dioxide from carbon dioxide.
You can die from carbon dioxide too.
Not at the levels produced by diesel engines.
And you can suffocate from not having
They're
enough
literally.
oxygen. I mean, we're not here. We're not here to
fans.
we're not really here to litigate the specifics of the
No,
Holocaust.
fight me. We're doing it now. Wooden doors that go empty outward. No, but like these things should absolutely be questioned. Everything I believe in my entire life that I strongly and firmly believe should be questioned.
I agree with that statement. So that's why I'm okay with looking at the minutia of it. But the problem is that when somebody says you can't question the Holocaust, I have a problem with that. But when somebody denies the Holocaust, you can't. Okay, so the split for me is you can question the Holocaust. You probably
I gotta go
should.
take care of something. I'll be right back.
You should question the Holocaust.
Enjoy your poops.
I will. I'm gonna name
fiber.
it Jay.
Oh, I dropped a big old red doggy earlier, you piece of shit. Define the Holocaust for me. What does that term mean?
That's the extermination of the German people, no matter for what reason, by the German Nazi machine. Okay? That is one of those things that when you question it, you come up against the facts that they killed a whole lot of people in those camps. Take the religion out of it, take ethnicity out of it, for whatever reason, the Germans killed, mass murdered lots and lots and lots of people. Now, the specifics.
Okay, but my argument to that is Germans. You're saying Germans. I think all the mass murder really there was Russians.
Could be. I mean, that's a question that should be asked and analyzed. Now, I have no doubt that what we now know as the CIA back then as the OSS in World War II,
Mm-hmm.
utilized what they discovered to be a form of propaganda. So they probably churched up what actually happened in some way. But that doesn't negate the truth of that being a horrific event. So you should question the Holocaust. You should learn about it, learn the facts, and learn the players. But denial of the Holocaust is another thing entirely, and that's only perpetrated by fucking morons.
I always thought the funniest part about the Holocaust is that people who deny the Holocaust really wished it happened. Like, it's not like denial for like any other reason, but like, oh, if only they did.
I mean, and it's one of those things. Most Americans know about the Holocaust, but they don't know about the Holodomor, which blows my mind. It's like it was at least 10 times worse, if not worse than that, and nobody in America knows a fucking thing about it at all.
Mm-hmm. It irks me when they show like the internment camps for the Nazis, and everyone there is scrawny and deathly ill and no meat on their bones.
Yeah, well,
Like, yeah, look at Union soldiers at the end of the Civil War. That's what happens when you attack supply lines. The first people you don't feed, it ain't the soldiers, it's the prisoners. But for the vast majority of the time, Auschwitz was where the Germans made their meals. It was a work camp for whatever the German version of MREs is. And there are books out there about how Jews gleefully ground glass into the meals that they made.
okay.
They are devils.
Jesus. This is getting pushed offline.
No, but there are German efficiency. One of the things that the Germans actually are good at is keeping trains on schedule. Thank you, Uncle Adolf. One of the things they did well is bookkeeping, accounting. I've never seen a tattoo above 400,000. Now, there was 3 denominations. There was Auschwitz, which had an A next to it, and you could see numbers up to 400,000. There was B for Birkenau, with I never saw over 100,000 for them personally.
I thought it was
but
Dachau with a D. Dachau.
No, that's in the ghetto, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure that was one of the camps. Dachau.
German camps.
You're on a list now, if you already weren't.
Oh, I already was. I have been visited for the FBI since college. Somehow I got German camos World War II. There's Dachau, there's Auschwitz, there's Birkenau. Yeah, okay, so yeah, there's all. Yeah. Well, anyways, there was over 100 camps altogether, but there's numbers for A, B, and D. Those are the 3 number listings. So maybe it's Dachau and Auschwitz, and B is for everybody else. But none of those numbers are above 400,000. So It's weird in a numbering scheme that you start at 1, go to 400,000, get up to 6 million, and then kill everybody above 400,000.
I people who study it for whatever reason have more facts available to them than I do on the subject. I just know that denying it is retarded, but questioning it, in my book anyway, is completely legitimate. People should study it. People should know, because it wasn't in any way, shape, or form a good thing, and it is to be condemned strongly, no matter what. So I think there are worse things that have happened in the history of the world. But this is in the top 10 for certain.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah? You got your 10 list?
I have my 12 list, and it's number 13.
Okay. I don't know. Man.
Like, one of them's broken up into 3 pieces for the Russians killing off 100 million Russians during the early part of the 20th century.
Yeah, I think what Russia and China and Cambodia did, Cambodia much less so because there weren't that many of them, but the things that they did were in order of magnitude more horrific. And that's saying
Khmer
something.
Rouge,
Yeah, and that's saying something because what Adolf did was pretty fucking horrific. So, but yeah, there are worse things that have been perpetrated upon the human race. But like I said, it's top 10, if not top 5.
Uh-huh. I could up it to 14 if I include a couple of random meteorites.
Yeah, well, I mean I'm talking events perpetrated
R.I.P.
on
Neanderthal.
Yeah, events perpetrated by humans on humans. I mean, Genghis Khan
we've got
was way worse, and he just happened to
over a larger period.
Yeah, he happened to just predate most recorded records, so, or at least
they want to say like, that and there's a couple of people past Genghis who really enjoyed destroying history for a while there. I don't know why. It seems a little weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to address the atrocity that was the Holocaust way more than the fact that we were fighting World War II between the Japs and the Jap. I'm not gonna go chinks and zip heads, but the Japanese and the Chinese, they lost 25 million people between the two of them.
Yeah, but Western history doesn't much care. Never has. That's kind of the problem. We only care about Europeans. So if you want to talk about white privilege, there's a piece of it for you.
What? Dinosaurs were real, but birds aren't, Mike. Keep it to yourself. Yeah, but actually, something I did want to get into a little bit is the plethora of conspiracies that we've had going around over the last little bit of time, and never forget dinosaurs, Holocaust, always mention. Yeah.
Was Jay just empathizing for the nips?
No, it was the Zipperheads I was on the side of. Thank you very much. The
slants.
the ching chonga dinga dongs. So we've got the
so dig into your conspiracy.
I don't know. Yeah, I want to start with the Jake Gardner grand jury indictment where he former Marine served a tour, shot and killed 22-year-old James Spurlock after 2 warning shots. The guy still proceeded to attack him and his father and tried to jump the gun away from him, causing him to be shot in the fucking death. But the grand jury returned an indictment last week, and Jake Gardner, who had fled from Nebraska and was found basically outside Portland, where he committed suicide by a medical center. They're I don't know who is trying to make this a thing, but they're claiming that he was suicided by Black Lives Matter. Now, metaphorically, the man did kill himself because Black Lives Matter is a piece of shit organization that basically called for his death. But to actually claim that they killed him by pulling the trigger themselves instead of being a reason he pulled the trigger himself is just a stupid conspiracy on the level of Trump's been a Russian agent since the 80s, back when it wasn't even Russia. But well, that's also something we could talk about.
Yeah, how does one of the world's foremost premier capitalists get co-opted by the Soviets?
Yeah. And yeah, the Soviets, not the Russians, because this was before they succumbed to the Star Wars initiative.
Yeah,
and lost all of their money.
We've got bona fide adults rolling around that have no idea what the Soviets even were.
I know what the Ruskies were. That's because I just
a pain in my ass geographically, because before Russia fell apart, I only had to memorize like 150 countries. Fucking dicks.
And none of them behind the Iron Curtain
here,
mattered.
27 new countries for you.
USSR was still around when I was 6, so that's when they kind of collapsed. So
I was like 8.
You wouldn't have been.
Way to make
8.
everybody buy a new globe, you dicks.
I have a globe. I have a globe that still has East and West Germany on it.
Sell it to a commie. I'm sure they'll love it.
Still has Yugoslavia as one country.
Does it still have the Czechoslovakia?
Was it Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia that busted up in like 8 different states?
I think it was
Yugoslavia
Czechoslovakia.
was 4.
It's out in the garage, and I'm not going to go.
So I blame those 2 motherfuckers as well. So that's 27 for Russia, 4 for Yugoslavia. Well, Bosnia Herzegovina. Fuck all of you people. Yeah. Like an overcharge button. What? But that is so fucking stupid. I wonder if they're responsible for him getting a deal at NBC. Because you really want your spies out there.
Who got a deal at NBC?
Getting as much attention as they can. Wasn't the Apprentice on NBC?
Oh yeah. I guess it was.
I didn't watch it, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I'd say I didn't watch it. I didn't really care for Trump, like, ever, honestly. Still not overly fond of the guy, but I do like what he's done. So he's got that going for him, I guess.
I remember I was like, I don't know, 13, 14. I saw him in an episode of French Prince of Bel-Air. And I'm like, wow, that guy's a terrible actor.
Yeah. Between that and Home Alone 2, those were his acting chops prior to getting The Apprentice.
Well, it's
unless,
really isn't acting, so that's fine. But
yeah.
he was a lot better in Home Alone 2 than he was in.
Well, he
You know what
had
probably happened is 25 takes on Home Alone 2 before he stopped acting and just treated it like a business interaction.
yeah.
Uh, Up the hall on the right. Like that's all you got to say, Mr. Trump. Up the hall on the right. You're just pointing to a goddamn lobby. Okay, that's all I need from you.
I think we should get that clip from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and just lay that out there everywhere. So watch Carlton just geek out on Donald Trump.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jesus, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, he's only in it for like a minute, and I just like, my god, you are a terrible actor. It was like you could almost see his lips moving because he memorized everybody's lines,
Yeah.
and he was just waiting for his. I'm like, you are terrible.
Well, did you ever see the
But
Green
turns
Acres? The Green Acres skit he did?
With Melania?
No,
Hopefully.
it wasn't with Melania. Hang on a second, I'll look it up. Trump Green Acres skit.
Oh wait, was it Sofia
Me-
Vergara?
It was Megan Mullany. It was in 2006, and they did it at the
Megan
Emmys.
Mullany.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Karen from Will and Grace?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, because I was like, there's only so many people, and if it isn't Sofia Vergara, the only other person I could picture being high maintenance enough is Zsa Zsa Gabor. Is okay.
Yeah.
I don't care for her at all.
Yeah, I don't either. And the whole Will and Grace thing is, I didn't really care for it when it came out. I was like, okay, so we now have to suffer through a sitcom about a guy being gay, and that's kind of the premise, and that's kind of dumb to me. So I never really watched it. I did end up giving a couple of episodes a chance, and it was written okay, but yeah, the what became the main guy, because it was pretty quickly on that Will wasn't the main guy. He was just like a straight gay guy, if there's such a thing. You know, he wasn't necessarily in the
Yeah,
closet.
he's a straight character.
Yeah, he was just a guy who happened to be gay. It wasn't really much of anything, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bug me in the slightest. But with the best buddy who's just an overly gay queen, that physically makes me ill when that's your entire identity is wrapped up in your sexuality. I got no time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I preferred Dharma and Greg, like a lot. The Dharma and Greg were decent people, but Greg's parents were caricatures of the right, and Dharma's parents were caricatures of the left. And it played out really well together for them for the 4 of the 5 years anyway.
Yeah, back when people could actually laugh at themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the right's still laughing at themselves. That's what you get with Last Man Standing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, Archie Bunker was a good example of that too.
I do love me some Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen is.
Give it to him.
Yeah, but I mean that, like you've said before, that went completely sideways for them from their conception to how it was received. But yeah, until the left can start laughing at themselves for being absolutely ridiculous, things are just going to get worse.
A great example is this Jake Gardner guy. He had an incident a couple years ago of a woman and a trans woman getting into a fight in a woman's bathroom. He built an entirely third bathroom off of the two other bathrooms for the specific trans people to use. Not forcing them to go into the men's room or forcing them to go in the women's room. He built a separate bathroom for them.
Yeah, but it's only a matter of time before that would become
In 2016
problematic too. Yeah,
well, that is it is problematic in their eyes, mainly because they view it as otherizing them. They're not male or female. They want to be considered male or female.
Right. So it's being
Put
nice.
in the Zer bathroom.
Yeah, being nice and accommodating to these people ends up being an insult because there is no pleasing these people. Ever.
You are not going to please crocodiles.
There is no winning. There is only asserting your authority or I wouldn't even say morality because that's a lost cause, but you just have to assert your authority and cultural norms and make them deal with it because that's their problem they've chosen to have or haven't chosen to have. I don't know. I'm not one of them, so I couldn't tell you. But those are societal norms that they need to adhere to.
Too much. Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got no desire to get myself a nice, sweet pair of bolt-on titties, so I think we're good here.
You like them? I bought them. Yeah, just such an atrocity. I don't. We gotta have better things to talk about than this.
NBC is rebooting Friends.
Oh, good. I always wanted to see Friends, but in Harlem.
Yeah, with an all-black cast.
I heard that they're redoing The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as a drama.
Are they really?
Yeah. And Will Smith is at the helm as a producer.
Sorry.
He's not going to be in it, but he's a producer, apparently.
Oof.
Yeah, oof indeed. It's like...
He needs to stop producing. Everything is produced as shit.
I kind of want to just go back to the 90s.
I love Will Smith.
Yeah, things were a lot better in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Dude, you know what I really miss about the 90s? Do you remember the restaurant Grandy's?
No.
USA Up All Night? No.
Oh, you don't remember
We had
Grandy's?
Shoney's.
Tales from the Crypt.
Grandy's
Ponderosa.
was...
Tales from the Crypt, yeah. USA Up All Night was my thing. Tales from the Dark Side. Monsters.
Grandy's was like a...
Outer Limits.
How else can I describe it? It was...
Steven remembers Grandy's.
He does?
Yeah.
Steven's good people. Unlike you two fucks.
Well,
Yeah.
that must be a Oklahoma, Texas thing because it never made it out here.
Or up here. Of course, I don't travel a lot. We're in lockdown.
Was it like a Sizzler?
Was it like a Shoney's?
Howard Johnson?
Maybe an Old Country Buffet? I got nothing.
What was it like, Josh?
Wait, what's the...
Oh, he's muted. His girl or dogs must be there.
What was the... Do you remember the commercial with the guy in the trench coat with the finger vacuum? And he was sucking up... was it salsa? Was that
Yes.
a Chili's commercial?
I think it was it was either Chili's or Mi Amigos. Let me see. I think they were called Salsa Bandit.
Salsa. I just remember the inflating trench coat. I always wanted one of those trench coats.
No. Salsa.
New York City. No, that was
Old El Paso.
That was Old El Paso.
coming up.
Whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it had a buffet layout because they stuck their finger in
Chi-Chi's.
a vat.
It was Chi-Chi's.
Chi-Chi. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't one of the first major chains to expand too quickly and doom themselves.
Mm. Sadly, my favorite salsa is Taco Bell mild sauce.
You would not last a day out here, sir. Not a day.
My grandpa would get like really, really hot sauce to the point where he would be sweating and sniffling. And I'm like, having fun, Grandpa? Jesus Christ. You look in pain. I don't know how tasty that could be.
My brother-in-law makes a wicked hot sauce with like ghost peppers, and it is lava fucking hot, and it is almost painful to eat, but it is so flavorful as the burn hits that you can't help but want more.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, I've appreciated like spicy chicken wings from like the most unexpected place. What the hell's the what's the southern version of White Castles?
Carl's or Whataburger.
No. I can't think of the name of the place, but no. But
we don't really have anything.
Anyway, they have
a.
Yeah, it's a little slider station that has chicken wings, and their spicy chicken wings are rough to eat, but absolutely delicious. And this jerky I like has ghost peppers in it, and it is incredibly spicy. Like painful to smell the bag. like when you go, your eyes water when you open the bag. So I'm like, I don't hose down my food with salsa per se, but I'll add Taco Bell mild sauce to my beans and meats for burrito pie, which is like just like a lazy version of it's casserole. It's a Mexican casserole. No, not Buffalo Wild Wings. It's it's pretty bear mace. I like the tang, the tangy zip of bear mace.
We had a restaurant that they got bought out. They were a local franchise, I guess. I don't know. They were a local thing where they had 5 or 6 restaurants called Native New Yorker. They were bought out by some sort of conglomerate, and their menu has gone to shit since. But back when they were just owned by the local guys that had moved out here from Buffalo, they had the best wings, even though they were tiny, but they were only 10 cents a piece. And they had mild, medium, hot, honey hot, and then they had suicide, and then they had what they called golden flamethrowers. And the golden flamethrowers were made with the suicide sauce plus something else plus tequila, and then lit on fire and brought to you. And they were painful to eat, but quite tasty.
Good Lord. Did they all close down? Jeez, oh Pete's. Crystals. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those. We never saw any of those out here.
their wings they're spicy. And if you've had Crystal wings and say they aren't spicy, shut up. Just shut up. Why you gotta hurt my feelings like that? I went through the restaurants near me to find the freaking name of the place, and like so many of these places have like check-ins, like check dine-in, check curbside pickup, check delivery. All the dine-ins are X'd out.
I didn't realize I'd been muted. Fantastic.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to tell us what Grady's was.
Yeah, I didn't mute myself though.
He Josh even said you were muted, or Sean even said you were muted, Josh.
I must have been reading.
So tell us about Grady's.
Grandy's was basically like,
Yeah, I'm freaking curious.
it's like fried chicken and chicken fried steaks. It's, Southern heart-cloggingly good home meals that's prepared fast. That's all it was.
So like a proto Cracker Barrel.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of like a Cracker Barrel, but fast food, probably half the menu. So, that's about it. But yeah, I do remember Crystal's Pizza. I remember Crystal's. Jay Fry was mentioning them. So,
Yep.
So, Jay, are you going to go be on Ben Shapiro's show now that he's moving closer?
I'm waiting for the Sunday special with Jay
No, but we had this large man outside yelling at us about our wooden doors, and we decided to have him on. He apparently wants to call Andrew Clavin a bald-headed former Jew. A cue ball Jew ball. That's what he wanted to call him. No, Nashville is absolute shit. And it's stupid for anybody to move to Nashville.
How big is the story there of
to get away from
the cover-up? How big of a story is that locally for you guys?
Probably not.
Here, it's mentioned because we're shitting on Nashville. But for them,
you would think that he would make a much wider choice than Nashville.
It's just all of West Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget, fuck Memphis too.
I mean, isn't Nashville
East Tennessee?
lefty?
Well, it's the closest thing to Hollywood.
Nashville is
not
Nashville
in California.
and Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's more Motown than anything. It's like Atlanta, Detroit, Memphis, or Nashville. Those are the main hubs of music outside of LA.
Well, and keep in mind,
so they have their douchebags there.
Yeah, he also had to find a place that was copacetic with his doctor wife to establish her practice as well. So I'm sure that had some play in it. Plus, I'm sure there was a vote in the Daily Wire office as to who wanted to be where.
I didn't see if Clavin was moving to Nashville.
Well, we have a Mayo Clinic.
That's a good question. I would imagine that unless he pulls what Matt Walsh did, because where was Matt Walsh? He was out in Atlanta, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Dave Rubin's now part of Daily Wire.
Or is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was doing his own thing with like locals and shit.
I'm pretty sure he's got a new show on the Daily Wire.
Because he's also part of the Blaze Network, isn't he?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. But I am starting to see some problems with some of the more conservative shows. They're only interviewing conservatives. Granted, I get that there's a problem that they can't get left-leaning opinions on, but, I mean, that's a problem.
It is, but I mean, is
They're
that
gonna
by
get in there.
choice, or is that a forced outcome?
I think it's a forced outcome that will eventually become a choice.
Well, I mean, look what happened to Mark Duplass.
Yeah, sure.
And all he did was say a kind word.
Who's Mark Duplass?
Apparently, he and his brother are producers, movie producers. And I know he's been on Rogan. I don't know if he's been on Ben's show or not. But he just literally said, guys, he's not that bad. And he got an amazing amount of shit for just saying that in Hollywood.
Yeah, I remember.
About who?
He
Ben Shapiro.
predicted everything though, didn't he?
Yeah, he walked it back, but dude, once there is no forgiveness from these people.
Yeah, and he ended up like going back on Crowder and saying like, "No, you're trying to turn this into something else, and trying to turn it into a politically charged thing." And he just ended up not even talking to Crowder anymore. I do remember that.
Who did he say wasn't that bad?
Shapiro.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, Shapiro is that bad. Shapiro is awful. So have me on, Ben. I'll kick your ass.
You're really gunning to be that. Make sure he definitely keeps that. Receive the most anti-Semitic hate.
2020, baby.
That's the way he does it.
I think he did Creep in 2014.
Who, Duplass?
If I'm thinking of the right Duplass. Yeah.
There's
He's
two
he's
of
a
them.
producer.
There's Mark, and then he's got a brother
Sure.
whose name I don't happen to know off the top of my head, so
Joe?
I have no idea. And I'm not looking
Is
it
it
up.
Joe? Then it would be them. Fucking. Oh, I got Steven spelling Duplass out for me. I got this. Excuse me, hiccups. Mark Duplass. J. Duplass. Yeah, that's their the Duplass brothers, and they did Creep in 2014. Which was surprising because he has a lot of freaking shit shows of his production company. Like there's one called Togetherness, and it's creepy. Cyrus, Jeff who lives at home. But it wasn't particularly funny, and the monster from it was like a real big ripoff of what the hell was the name of that? Anyway, it's shit show. Fuck everybody that isn't me or non-Jewish. There we go. How was the pandemic, Sean?
Yeah, you owe me 2 hours of my life back.
Did you have a good? I did not suggest. I simply said it's the worst movie I've ever seen compared to your worst movie.
You think?
And then I backed that up with the 1.4 rating.
All right, it does have a worse rating in IMDb, but if you look at the Amazon reviews, they are absolutely glowing. It was so bad, my wife comes in and goes, "What the hell are you watching?" And I told her. And this was even before, because the first hour of the movie doesn't even get to the birds. And so she started looking it up, and she was astounded at the glowing reviews that Amazon has for this thing. It is an amazing turd.
There's some connoisseurs out there.
What is it? That Birdemic?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically 2 hours of global warming is bad nonsense essay slash morality play that makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. And the acting is, you're right. Okay, so if I have to make an admission, the acting in Hobgoblins is a bit better than the acting in Birdemic, but they're both
A, a step.
horrible fucking movies.
Have you watched Velocipaster yet?
I have not watched Velocipaster.
Oh, if you think the effects are bad in Birdemic, wait till you see Velocipaster.
Have you seen Birdemic?
I've seen trailers. I've seen clips.
Yeah,
Yes.
they don't do it justice because wow.
Wait till you see Velocipaster, dude. I'm just telling you, it's bad. But on that note, I've got to work in the morning, so I'm gonna sign off, and you gentlemen have a wonderful night.
All right, sir.
Talk to you later.
Later. So
Ooh.
how's the sequel is what I need to ask.
Oddly better.
That's not a high bar.
Like you would think like those a couple of people from Birdemic too. They went on to do other stuff as opposed to like being drummed out of the business because of their shittery.
What else has anybody in that movie ever? Hang on, I got to IMDb it now. I need to know what else anybody involved in that shit show has done.
I saw one in a commercial.
That I could probably buy.
But I mean, like, Sleepaway Camp, which was a surprise hit. You know that movie had James Earl Jones' father in it.
Wow. Okay, so the relatively hot chick from that movie has actually got a bunch of stuff. She actually has 53 credits to her name. That's amazing.
Are you the Whitney or the other one?
Nathalie. So it's Whitney Moore, yeah. Her character's name
Because
was
Jessica is because right after that, I saw Beauty Beware and it had Jessica in it. But
wow. Yeah, the main character
I've got an
has
order
20
at this.
credits.
Does he?
Yeah. They're all bad. At least Whitney Moore had somewhat. I mean, it pays to be a.
He returned it too.
Yeah, well, apparently it pays to be an attractive woman in Hollywood, no matter what, because her credits are 3 times what his are, and they're somewhat actually respectable. But yeah, his are just less than B movies and crap.
Well, the main character went on to direct.
Oh, did he? Let me see how many
yeah.
director credits he's got. Hang on. No, he's only got 3 director credits.
You should have 4 or 5.
No, he's got 3. He's
You
got
should
3
have, like,
writing credits.
4 or
He's
5.
got 5 producing credits. And 2 of them are no, all of them are shorts. So, yeah, even his directors, he's only directed shorts. So,
Well, he's not. He's only done partial. Like he's just getting started as a director.
Yeah, well, the first half of that
But
of Birdemic
he,
was him either walking or driving, and you could see the cuts. You could see the action cue in the cuts.
It was a Birdemic.
It was horrible. Horrible.
That's an editing issue. That's a completely different person from a director or writer.
I would agree, but the director still gets to direct the editing, so it's still on the director.
But Treehawk Arias, Carrie Stevens, I saw her in Long Shots, which was she's got 27 acting credits. But that like she did movies up until Birdemic 2. She was in Dino Croc versus Super Gator. She was in Rockstar. TV. Weird Science, the TV show. Days of Our Lives. See? She did plenty of stuff.
So yeah, you got to
This is
figure
all
out
sex stuff
how
from
you're
this
going to
chick.
pay me back those 2 hours of my life.
Pick a movie. I'll watch Deep Blue Sea 3 for you.
What is the worst rating on IMDb?
Go to top ratings and then reverse order. We have a 4. Oh, sorry. I meant 0.4. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to get your hopes up.
Bottom 100. See, it doesn't even list Birdemic. It stops at 2.
Number 6. Number 6 doesn't even have a name attached to it. It's just like 7 letters. It's like the case of. That's it.
Top rated movies. How do I ranking? Okay, reverse order. It doesn't even come close.
Let's start with the bottom rankings. No.
This doesn't come close.
I don't like intentionally do it. I just I like stuff. And like if you got a catchy name, I will check you out. Like
Velocipaster?
Velocipaster, yeah.
Yeah, see, this search doesn't even go that. And it's like, no, we're just going to hide those. We don't want to admit those exist.
Yeah, there's what the hell was the one that I just added it to my my sorority babes in the slime bowl bolorama. I just added that to my watch list.
Yeah, see, these all stop at 2. I know there's stuff that's rated worse than 2. Manos, The Hands of Fate even got a 2.1. Oh, it's got Birdemic here. It's 2.2.
And that was the fucking science.
Oh, speaking of Mystery Science Theater 3000,
Son of a bitch.
There's a Riff Tracks, which is the lesser talents of Mystery Science Theater 3000 doing...
Riff Tracks can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, well, they did a Riff Tracks for Birdemic.
They did that. Well, they did a riff track for Puppet Master, and that's a cult classic. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Do you even care about what you're doing?
Those guys don't. I mean, it's Mike and the guy who played Tom Servo and I think the gal that played. Um, what was her name on the show? Pearl. I think it's those three, but the good ones are Joel Robinson and the guy who played Dr. Forrester, who also did the voice of Crow. They also have it. And I think they picked up the guy that was originally in the Frank role, or maybe they even picked up Frank. I'm not even sure, but they do something else, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's not Riff Tracks, and theirs are way better than Riff Tracks.
Adam Sandler going overboard is the worst. Yeah, like I will almost give like 3 additional. Like if I'm rating 1 through 5, I will give you 2 stars. If your budget's under $100,000, like you will start out at a minimum of 2 stars, and you have to really hurt yourself to go below that.
Birdemic did it on $10,000.
See, and they get the 2 stars for that. But yeah, like the new
I lose you? We can't hear you. Your mic has gone dead. Maynard, I liked TV's Frank. But yeah, Dr. Forrester might have been the best Mad. But I really enjoyed TV's Frank. And then the travesty of the show that they rebooted here in the last couple of years is just horrible. And they tried, and I can't think of the Patton Oswalt's involved, and he's terrible. Going Overboard is that bad? Was that a remake of Overboard with Goldie Hawn? Was that what it was supposed to be? I think it's set in Harlem, if I'm not mistaken, Steven.
I got the boot.
You did get to boot. Welcome back.
My chat's still disconnected.
Well, refresh. I'm surprised the stream's still live after.
What are we talking about with Harlem?
Whether or not the new Friends show is set in Harlem or the Bronx.
Shaft 2, Shaft 3. This time on Hell's Kitchen, friends. I always wondered if like the portrayal of New Yorkers is really the portrayal of New Yorkers in comic books. Like I've never seen more love of Hell's Kitchen than in an episode of Daredevil. Like, you gonna come to me here in Hell's Kitchen? Like, aren't you always in Hell's Kitchen? Shouldn't that be where they come to you? I don't know. Could just be me.
I don't know. I've only been to New York once. Didn't care for it. Couldn't tell you.
Still waiting on the reboot. Taking forever.
What are you?
I don't even care about the new Friends.
No, I mean, they're so bad. They're so devoid of new innovative ideas that they're rehashing middling 90s sitcoms.
Like, I'd like to see like they talk about it in the horror community, like a Netflix original series on catching the 13 ghosts.
Like
That would be mildly interesting.
how they ended up in the house, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
yeah. Well, I mean, we know how they got to the house, but the actual efforts of capture, like they showed us the capture of the 12th, the 12th ghost. So how you caught the other 11,
That could be interesting.
which is really 13 because mother and child are considered one ghost, which is stupid. But that, or an entire series based around capturing the creatures for Cabin in the Woods. But that would have to be a huge budget since there's so much CGI needed for that.
I don't think I saw Cabin in the Woods.
You should totally see Cabin in the Woods.
I keep
That'll
confusing
make
it.
up for the 2 hours you lost.
What was the name with the movie where they had to walk on? That was Quiet, wasn't it?
A Quiet Place?
A Quiet Place. That's what it was. I always get those two confused.
Mike Hawk says reboot Sabrina. They did, and I hate it.
The Teenage Witch?
Yeah, they reboot the chilling tales of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Ugh.
And it's much more gothic under. Oh, it's so fucking dumb. It's got a girl, Sabrina Spellman, who is raised by her aunts, Zelda and fucking Fangoria, whatever the fuck her name is. And so she's lived the life of a witch, but is completely put off by anything traditionally witchy. And she knows like her entire life to become a witch. At the age of 16, she has to marry the devil. And leading up to it, she rejects it and she runs away after signing her name to the book. Something so fucking stupid. And then every tradition that they have, she circumvents. For her, like at one point in the Middle Ages, like after the Salem witch trials and all the witches fled, there was a harsh winter, and they had to. One of the elder witches sacrificed her life for a harvest, so that the other witches could live on and gain strength by eating her body, basically cannibalism. And they did this as an honor in their tradition, and it helped them grow power. And she put a stop to it with the help of her aunts. Her aunts are in their 50s, which means they've done it repeatedly. They've eaten somebody. And it wasn't even her who was at stake. It was another chick. And they went through the effort to stop it for her nemesis to show she has value, when really she's just being progressive and tearing down her church doctrine. It's absolute shit. At the end, her boyfriend gets possessed by the devil and she has to lock him away. And the first thing she does at the end, like it's the very end, she's like, "We're going to get back my boyfriend." Like, no, bitch, you have lost. You lost your boyfriend because he made the sacrifice to be, but the essence of the devil put in him.
Well, okay, so explain to me why you have a problem with that, but don't have a problem with Supernatural when I can't think of the character's name. The one went to hell, died and went to hell.
Dean?
Dean, yeah.
He made a deal and he went to hell.
Yeah, but then the entire next season was getting Dean back.
No, it wasn't. He was instantly back. Oh, you're thinking of Sam, when Sam went to hell.
Maybe. I don't know. I never got super into Supernatural.
Honestly, that's different because of the motivation. That Sam and Dean are all they have in the entire world. That's their entire world. Now, those two would be a perfect example They were raised hunting from basically since Sam was raised from birth. He rejects his father and goes a different direction. Dean idolizes his father and wants to follow exactly in his footsteps. But, those fucking people, they brought each other back to life like 7 times a piece. It was ridiculous. Like, they could have at least, like, Doctor Who'd it and had new characters playing them. That would have at least been something interesting. But I can't tell you how many times those two fuckers died. But they weren't surprised. They knew what they were getting into, and they did it. Literally, they were like, "Don't you dare bring me back." Like, we always get in deeper, and they do. They get in deeper and have to pay the consequences each and every time. It gets worse for them and worse for them and worse for them each time they do it. For Sabrina, she gets away with it every time, and people just love her more.
Yeah, Magic Pixie Girl. I guess you could. I never watched Buffy the show, but from what I gathered, it was basically the same thing.
No, there were consequences. Buffy was brought back to life in season, 8, 10, 12, 17. And she was detached and aloof because she was pulled out of heaven. Like, they thought she was suffering for eternity, but she was a dedicated slayer, and her reward was a place in heaven. And when they brought her back, they took her from heaven. And there was consequences for it, and she ended up in this whole subplot of rolling around the hay with Spike.
Spike was the guy that went. Was that the guy that went on to do Bones?
No, that was Angelus.
Oh, okay.
David Boreanaz. Spike is James Marsters.
Okay.
He narrates my favorite book series. But it's very, very different for each of those 3 things.
There are things I like about Supernatural, but I just couldn't get super into it. Like I said,
I'm stuck at season 12.
I liked the one that they did where they were like stuck in a sitcom from the 50s or something. I thought that one was pretty cool. And I like the one where they met the Scooby Gang. That one was pretty cool too.
I've never seen it, but we reviewed Sam Walker or Frank Walker, and I saw the episode. I kind of was like, what the fuck? At one point, the Angels blasted them out of TV, and they played themselves. And the best part of that entire episode was that Jared Padalecki couldn't pronounce his own last name. But they ended up using their own credit cards to buy the magic ingredients to get them back into the show.
Yeah, I like.
And that was the introduction of Sharktopus too.
Yeah, I like shows that don't take themselves too seriously like that. I mean, I liked the tone of the show overall, but I like the fact that they were able to do campy episodes and not take themselves so seriously.
I love the Buffy sing-along episode from season 5.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Once More with Feeling. That's the name of the episode. It's probably the only episode I could name.
It's kind of why I liked Psych, too, because Psych had that same not taking yourself too seriously sort of attitude to it.
Oh, my God, dude. I don't know how far into Supernatural you got, but Lassiter plays Kane.
Dude, really?
And he does an amazing fucking job with a sweet beard.
Yeah?
Yeah. And he's got this weird shoulder holster Bowie knife. It's sick.
Didn't Colin Nemec do a stint on Supernatural too? He did. He played a hunter.
Colin Nemec. Did he play a hunter or did he play?
It was like a 3 or 5 episode run he did where he played another hunter that was more gung ho and didn't like the brothers that much. But
I think he was a demon.
maybe he turned into one. I don't know.
I think Corin Nemec was a demon.
Yeah, Corin Nemec. Guy who played Parker Lewis. Which shall forever be his greatest role. I don't care that he was on Stargate. He was Parker.
Oh, he was. That's right. He
Lewis.
was. It was Stargate. Yeah. Wrong stepfather circuit. One night stand. Rotten Tail. Pandora's Box. Shooter. Drone Wars. Lake Placid. He was tall in Lake Placid versus Anaconda. That was the sheriff. Rise of the Dinosaurs. He was Colonel Carter. Jesus, how Christian Campbell / Demon. Yep. How do I get the information on this episode? He was in four episodes. Season 6, episodes 1 and 2, episode 7, and episode 10. Was that the demon? The Demon Eyes episode? Which one was this? 1 year ago, Dean moved house to live a normal apple pie life with Lisa and the son. Recommendation: Sam working as a construction worker. Oh no, that was the Jinn. Yeah, Jinn in several places. This one has Mitch Pileggi in it, doesn't it?
Mm.
Bobby. Yep, Mitch Pileggi playing Sam. The guy playing the demon with the yellow eyes was in it. That guy who gets his head blown off by the predator and killed in by a ladder in he won the lottery in Final Destination 2. That guy was in it. Playing one of the siblings of their mom, so their uncle. I miss Bobby.
Bobby was the old guy that helped him out.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He was great.
I like that. I like that actor. I think he does a good job in everything I've seen him in.
He sucked in Justified. He played a real shitheel.
He's good at playing shit heels.
Yeah, he was, because I hated him. I was like, oh, you're so good at what you do. I could never hate Bobby Singer. You're good.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I found that about Edge too. He played a guy in Haven, a TV show, and I'm like, yeah, he's actually likable. So he's a surprisingly good actor. You piece of shit. Haven was another show I gave up in. The guy who played Rufus, the Psycho Hunter. No, Rufus is played by. Damn it, what's his name? The captain from 21 Jump Street. I can't think of his name.
That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture his face, but I can't tell you his name.
Yeah, he was. He played. He was in Jason Goes to Hell. He played the hunter in that too. God, I cannot think of his name. But like once I do, it'll come to me in like a snap. It was Stephen Williams. See, told you. Yeah, Stephen Williams was. I think his name was Creighton Dukes. It was. He played Rufus, and like, damn man, it was like, it took like 6 seasons to get to him. I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, oh, it was worth the wait. Steven, right? Yeah.
Did you ever watch
Jim
Millennium?
with Lance Henriksen? No, that was two before me.
Yeah, I mean, for as good as the X-Files was, they really pushed the hell out of Millennium, and it never landed because it was not a good show.
I tried to go back and watch like older stuff like that, and I couldn't get through the first episode of Twin Peaks.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, who's the director of Twin Peaks? Crazy nut job. Can't think of his name.
That really doesn't help. I'm gonna have to Google that for for you. Yeah. What, Gary Busey?
Not Gary Busey.
Rob Reiner? Who are we talking about here?
Because the show sold itself on his name before anything else.
David Lynch?
David Lynch, yeah. I mean, and it was odd. And it takes a while to get into that groove. But once you get into that groove, that's a really good show.
Yeah. I couldn't stand Sherilyn Flynn.
Laura Flynn Boyle?
No, the other one. Damn it, what's her name? She's pretty gorgeous in that, but Sherilyn Fenn. Like the first episode, she's told not to do anything. Like seriously, we need to just stay here and not do anything. And she goes into another room and she flirts with a group of foreign businessmen and says, "Oh, and my best friend died." I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck is it, pass?" No.
The Lone Gunman was the X-Files spinoff that should have worked, but unfortunately had a first episode that was about running planes into the Twin Towers, and then that actually happened. Their pilot launched in March of 2001, and it was supposed to debut in mid-September, and September 11th happened, and they shit-canned the hell out of that show. It would have worked.
I didn't care for them.
They were certainly better than the Millennium spinoff that X-Files, Millennium was supposed to be a spinoff, kind of a spinoff of X. It was in the same universe, same kind of related, but it just didn't work.
Who was in that? Lance Henriksen?
That's about it. It just didn't work.
Yeah, I couldn't get past the talking to Diane on the recorder. That was a thing for me, and I'm like, are they quirky or just like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm too critical of a person. Like, if you can't get me hooked into you so that I can believe stupid shit, then I'm not going to enjoy it. Hey, Rags.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. I miss TV shows and movies that have actual real sets, like that are filmed out in the world. And Supernatural kind of had that going for it for a little while, but then it got kind of indoorsy and green screeny itself. But like Twin Peaks, it was almost all either set pieces or with real sets, or it was out in the Pacific Northwest. Same with X-Files.
Hey, how's my audio? Am I coming in okay?
Shitty,
Not bad.
It'll work.
Yeah,
it'll work. Okay, fair enough. How's it going, guys? What did I miss?
Everything.
Nothing.
Everything? Of course, naturally. Well, I'm still working nights, so that's just the way it goes.
Kind of thought so.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be off, but still got another week, maybe even another 2. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, Making money isn't a bad
I really
thing.
hate this. Well, yeah, the overtime's good, but it's fucking with my schedule. Like, I don't know how to reorganize my shit to where it all works. Am I muffled?
A little bit, yeah.
Not bad. Not bad, but
Okay.
you're muffled. But I never really minded. Like I grew up with like the 3 sets that was Married with Children. Like it was a shoe store, the living room / kitchen of the Bundy household, and the bedroom or Marcy's house, depending on the day.
That's kind of like Mama's family was like that. They had the house, which was obviously the primary one, and then you had wherever the son worked, which was like the little key hardware store thing that he did.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, for sitcoms, I'm a little more forgiving. The 3-camera sitcom is fine, but like if you're doing a drama or a suspense piece like Twin Peaks or X-Files or something like that.
The thing that really killed me was like Lord of the Rings. Like the first 3, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, fantastic. The Hobbit sucked ass because they used CGI for everybody. Like the monsters or the orcs didn't feel real anymore. Nothing. It wasn't scary like it was. For
that, and they expanded 1 book into 3 books.
Or
they did a book, a movie.
But that means they didn't skip anything, as far as I understand. Did they really cut anything out?
No, they added more than they cut.
Oh, okay. Now, you see, that's kind of the difference. You get it. Well, not to say you need it more fleshed out, but you could have stayed just true to the script or true to the book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a choice between making 1 really long movie or 2 standard length movies.
And they chose 3 really long movies.
Yeah.
I'd have been fine with 2.
Yeah. But, I was trying to figure out like where they'd split it. I'm like, I guess they could have split it at like when the goblins turned to, or when the trolls turned to stone, maybe. And like an hour in, they turned to stone. I'm like, what the fuck? This is gonna be weird.
So, were there any topics y'all covered that y'all might want my input on, or no?
Never. No, nothing worth going back for. Unless you really have an opinion on RGB.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you want to spit your feelings about Ginsburg.
When the night that I found out she died, I had a drink to toast to her dancing in hell.
It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah, the John McCain angle last night was funny as hell to me.
Yeah. Have y'all seen all the memes that have come out for Amy Coney Barrett now that she's slated for the pick?
Not really.
Honestly, no, I haven't seen any. I can't imagine her doing it. I can't imagine her doing it after what happened to Kavanaugh.
I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I think it really will come down to the attacks on her kids. Because kids rolling off limits during the Obama administration.
Well, there's another angle to take into account that I don't think anybody's absolutely touched on yet, is that do you want this nomination right now? Because even if you get confirmed, if Joe Biden wins or the Senate flips, that seat will be impeached, no matter who's in it.
Mm-hmm.
So do you actually want to have a lifelong career on the Supreme Court? If you do, you don't go for this nomination. You go for the next one.
Well, let's see if this one will show up.
Well, I don't know if I can trust you, Mr. Susan Rice is going to get the nod.
Man, I was 100% convinced that's what was going to happen, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Kamala pick. The only thing I can think of is that they were so pissed off. She was supposed to be the nominee, according to the
She's
party.
like Hillary Clinton. That's all it is.
Camilla is such a worse pick than even Susan Rice. It's amazing.
Yes. She absolutely is. And the only thing I can think of is that she was supposed to be the ordained one by the people with the power in the party. And when Tulsi Gabbard nuked her from orbit, they had to figure some way around it.
Did Tulsi ever concede?
No, I don't think she ever did. She just got, persona non. She got canceled. Basically by her own party. They just stopped including her, stopped supporting her in any way, shape, or form. She never got on any more debates, and she never really, went anywhere. Which I find hard to believe. Because I think she was probably the only one that actually had a chance of beating Trump in a straight stand-up fight.
Yeah. She's the only liberal that they even put up there.
Yeah, all the rest are commies.
So, did we ever figure out what happened to that guy that got arrested for brandishing a shotgun? Or was he even arrested? Was he just escorted for his own safety?
No, he was arrested. He was definitely arrested, but
I don't know how it's illegal to handle firearms drunk in your own house. I don't think that's an actual crime.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, they had
Even
to,
if he
they,
pointed
they
it
had to do
directly
something
at them.
to put him on the books. That's really all it boils down to, I think. I don't think it's going anywhere. But then again, when you see what they've done with Kyle Rittenhouse and the guy who just supposedly suicided himself, and the McCloskeys, it's hard to say that. I mean, it's America ain't America anymore. I can say that much. If this is if this is even the bullshit that we're entertaining.
Well, I've got something to address off stream because it came through my work, so I can't actually say it out here.
Right.
But I'll talk to you guys about it off stream.
All right.
Just a little hint at the backstage. Fuck you guys who are my loyal viewers. Can't. Sorry. I did love Mama's Family.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it was a great show. It was a great show. Still, one of my favorite episodes to this day of that show was whenever one of their relatives passed away and left them a parrot with a cage that was made of gold, but they didn't know it was made of gold, and they were told they were left like a substantial sum, and that's what it was. They had to figure out that the cage was gold, and they never did. I think it ended up the parrot died, and they threw the cage out in the trash, and then this episode ends with the story of the trash guy that figured out the cage was made of gold, so he was rich now.
Wow. I don't know how big the cage could be to make a guy rich.
I mean, it's a bird cage. It was fairly sizable.
All right, now you got me curious. Now I got to figure out how much.
It goes by weight, so that's another thing too. That cage would have had to been substantially heavier than a typical bird cage.
Right.
Birdcage is like a pound.
Yeah, that would have at least been 8 pounds at bare minimum, if not more.
Oh, yeah, so look up 4 kilos of gold.
It's a substantial sum.
100K at most.
Yeah, 4 kilograms. You're not. Well, I guess if you're a man, you could pick that up with one hand, but
It's a gallon of milk.
4 kilograms?
8 pounds, yeah.
That's it?
A gallon of milk's 8 pounds.
Huh.
Yeah, because 5 gallons of water is 40, just a little over 40 pounds, and milk's probably not far off either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how often does somebody grab a gallon of water versus a gallon of milk? That's what I was saying.
All right.
You were right. It's comparable.
Oh, like an ounce of gold is what, like 370
So
pound.
each pound of gold is basically $22,000.
Yeah, so they could have had it.
Oh, so 150.
And that's in today's money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that would have been what, 60s, 70s?
No.
Oh, yeah. Mama's Family was 80s, bro.
Oh, it was? Oh, geez.
Yeah, the Vicky
Lawrence.
Vicky
her show was in the 70s, but Mama's Family was in
Okay.
the 80s.
No, it wasn't Vicki Lawrence show. It was the Carol Burnett show. That's what.
Carol Burnett show, yeah.
Well, the Carol Burnett show
Tim
went
Conway
into
was
the
fucking
80s.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love. Even the outtakes are fucking great. I love that show. I really wish I could find like a good collection to sit down and watch them. Because I don't know, do they have a streaming service with that show? I need to look that up.
Probably not. Harvey Korman was hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy from the Dean Martin show who the Dean Martin Comedy Hour or whatever it was. He was the drunk guy.
Oh, Amazon Prime has it. No shit. Let me see.
Who I always enjoyed the hell out of him.
You mean the other drunk guy? Because Dean Martin was fully actually
The
toasted.
other drunk guy, yes. He's like, I'd like to thank you for having me here, Slappy, Sammy. He's like, I'm Gino.
Yeah. God, what was that guy's name?
He started comedy at like 48.
Yeah.
Like it was the character he played was like his dad.
I'll be damned. And it's free. Fuck yes. I'm
Foster
gonna start
Brooks. Was it
binging
Foster
this.
Brooks?
Yes, I think it was. Hang on. This is.
Oh, and there's 11 seasons. Boy, I got some shit to
Yeah,
watch.
Foster Brooks.
So you guys seen any good movies lately? I got one I wanted to talk about a little bit.
Oh, I got one for you. You need to watch
Uh-huh.
it. It's fantastic. You
Shoot.
need to watch Birdemic.
Dude, do you know they made a second one? There's a Birdemic 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got your weekend full next week. Enjoy. Serves you right for not showing up to the stream at the beginning.
I watched Rocket Man, and that was actually very good. It was different from the what was Freddie Mercury's one, Bohemian Rhapsody, because it wasn't like it wasn't straightforward like Bohemian Rhapsody was. It was a little more produced. It had like musical numbers and shit like that with people dancing. It wasn't a straight up biopic.
I thought you were talking about the Billy Campbell, Jennifer Connelly, Rocketeer with Timothy Dalton. Oh, like yeah, I love Alan Arkin. Terry O'Quinn was in it. Great show.
No.
Ron Taylor was Lothar. I just feel bad for that guy's face because the Rocketeer didn't have a nose.
God damn it. Shut up.
Yeah. Have you seen Repo, a Genetic Opera? Garrick?
What is it called?
Repo, a Genetic Opera?
No. But I have seen Repo Man, if that's what you're talking about.
No, it's a different movie than Repo Man. Yeah, it's kind of a different movie than Repo Man. It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same premise, only with your lower intestine. No, a company that what's the Jude Law movie with anyway? There's a company that builds organs basically, and you pay for your organ, And if not, like if you lapse on payments, somebody comes and harvests your organs back, and then they take the rest of your organs as collateral. And it's got the little girl from Spy Kids, the instructor from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Paris Hilton, Top Chop from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And it's a fucked up movie that it's a musical, and it's great. Yeah, Alex Varga, Anthony Stewart Head. I think Paul Sorvino is the father.
Why is Bob Newhart trending?
Oh no! Wait, isn't he dead?
Not according to this.
Didn't he die 2 years ago?
Hang on, let me look. No, he's still alive.
What?
Yeah.
Could have sworn he got like a memorial episode on Big Bang Theory.
Well, he got some accolades for Big Ben. Big Ben.
Oh no, he died. The character died.
Yes, the character died, not he.
Yeah. He was basically Mr. Wizard or whatever. Dude, that would be so shitty to be like Betty White's age and have her characters dying off, and like just seeing that kind of thing happen. Like, hey, just a friendly reminder: you're of the age where it's perfectly acceptable for someone your age to die.
How old is Betty White? 92.
She's on like the fourth anniversary of her 90th birthday. Like they started that a couple years ago.
Well,
holy crap, she's 98.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently they started that 8 years ago.
So, of the people we need to protect, Betty White's top of the list. 2020 cannot take her.
Dude, she's old.
And lovable. Stop
she
it.
can go.
No.
My favorite Betty White is very not lovable. Like Betty White from Hard Rain, Betty White from Lake Placid.
Oh, well, I still haven't seen Lake Placid, but I know she's in it because you guys never stop talking about it.
She is a bitch and a half. like, he's out there. I hope he swallows your friend whole, cocksucker. Like she's fucking great. Like, oh my god, I love bitchy Betty White. Like her versus Cloris Leachman is absolutely fun to watch. But just evil biddies attacking each other. It's great.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Mm-hmm. It was that Sandra Ryan Reynolds, Sandra
I know what you're talking about. The one where they're in Alaska getting married.
yeah, and it's got a whole Cloris Leachman versus Betty White thing in it.
The Proposal? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, dude, fuck cuties. Just. Oh, did you see the Young Turks attacking Donald Trump on Miss Teen USA?
Yep.
Where you have to
really?
at least be 15. And they take statements that I read, at the time I was reading this stuff. It was Miss USA pageant. They were adults. And Trump would walk into the, because he was a, he would walk into their rooms while they were getting dressed. That's not unusual for pageants. Like literally supermodels get naked backstage in front of everybody. It's It's what they do.
Just part of the job.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Miss USA is not really different. There are tons of men standing around doing hair and makeup. Most of them are gay. Not all of them are gay. Literally the best makeup artists in the business are like 4 flaming dudes. But like the next 3 straight men. But it's so funny. Top 10, 8 of the 10 dudes. And that's how you can tell Trump has no problem with gays, because he did the pageantry for over 20 years and no gay came out against him.
Yeah. Well, it's like down here. You can't be a racist down here. It doesn't work. There's too many black people. The populace doesn't work. You'll get your ass beat if you're a legit racist down here.
Mm-hmm. That's funny, because Michigan, I lived in Detroit, and fuck that. Never mind. The point is, backroom strip clubs. Yeah, that's completely the same thing, Mike. Thanks for playing the game. But they literally had a contestant interviewed that chick who ended up getting the kidnapping and drug possessions against her.
Mm-hmm.
Her statement was, "I was naked underneath my robe when he walked in." Like, I'm sorry, what was that? You were robed? So you weren't.
Like, you know what?
Naked?
These clothes, I'm naked.
But like, what are you saying? Like, how much of your time, like, are you as naked as a protester is violent? Like how much of your day is spent naked in the dressing room? Like, there's no showers, so you're not drying off. But, you're in your evening gown. You're next to... First off, I don't know if any of you guys were into acting or anything like that as in school, but I did musicals in high school and tried out for the other plays and stuff. I wasn't talented enough as an actor to get in the other plays, but my singing voice was enough to get me in the musicals. Backstage is entirely hectic. The last thing you want to do is be backstage in a dressing room while people are dressing. There is a pretty good chance you will get punched in the face from somebody putting their sleeve through a dress or something like that, or pulling a dress over their head or something like that. You will get elbowed or punched, and it is entirely chaotic. So an hour before you go live, walking through a dressing room is a thing. Everyone's sitting around putting makeup on or getting makeup put on. But, it's clear Donald Trump isn't a homophobic because he's never had a gay homophobic. He's accused of homophobia, but no one's ever straight up accused him of homophobia. Like, gays never accused him of homophobia. He is the first president going into office supporting LGBT rights. Which is something I really love to say to anybody who calls him a homophobe. There was a post on Facebook, a bunch of guys talking shit, and it's not loving. It was something about Trump's character, and not his actions or something like that, because he's got his whole, he's got his issues. There's no denying that. Trump absolutely has his issues. But one issue he doesn't have, career politician. That's what I want gone from the presidency. I do not want somebody who's been shitty in government for 30 years. And in 2024, that's something I'm going to push for in my candidate. Hopefully it's The Rock. We'll see. I elected a wrestler to the mayor. I will elect a wrestler to my fucking presidency. Just give it time.
Hey, wrestler got to be governor of was it Wisconsin?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's a wackadoo himself, but I'll give it to him.
Yeah, but he's fun to listen to.
I wouldn't like. I wanted to cut his hair before he became president, but like between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I'd rather Donald Trump watch my kids, and I know he would put it off on somebody else who was responsible enough to watch my kids. I do not trust Joe Biden. I do not trust the people surrounding Joe Biden. There are positive things I can say about Donald Trump. I find it really hard to say positive things about Joe Biden. And I can say positive things about Barack Obama, so it's not that I'm too partisan. It's that there's nothing to Joe Biden. His policies aren't even his policies. They're like the most popular thing at the time. He's got a new thing where there'll be no deportations in his first 100 days in office. The fuck is that?
Unless that person commits a felony. He already caveated that. So if an illegal immigrant comes over and commits a felony, they'll be deported. But if they don't commit a felony, they won't be deported.
Any illegal immigrant who gives a fake ID number for Social Security, that's the felon.
Yep. So you got it. I mean, but he's banking on people not paying attention to that. He's banking on, oh, well, if they don't commit some sort of violent crime, then they're fine. No. The second that they commit a process crime like that, it is a felony, and he would deport them. You got to remember, they called Obama the deporter-in-chief. He just did it on the down low and wasn't vocal about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I was saying, that would be one of the things I would praise Obama for. He had decent deportation numbers. Another one is like his drone strikes. He really put a lot of people in those chairs to spend hours in drones. Like I'm not a big fan of this war or anything, but we've been in office for 4 years, and Donald Trump hasn't started new shit anywhere. Good for him. What I can't think of a single good thing about Biden. But I don't have anything good to say about Mitch McConnell either.
Yet.
Yeah.
Give him a week. All right, give him a week. We'll see. All right, I'll give McConnell a week. But I just don't care for that guy.
No, he's part and parcel to the problem. He's just in a position of power now where we need him because, God forbid, it be Chuck goddamn Schumer again.
I really liked my last congressman. Not my last congressman, but when I was living in Michigan, my congressperson was Thaddeus McCotter, and he was a great guy. He was tons of fun. He had a band called the Second Amendments, and they would play around town, and literally like the talent of a ninth grade talent show, but they were like a bunch of guys in their 40s having fun, and they were all professionals. Like 2 of them were lawyers, one was a judge. These were guys who worked their asses off in their careers, and like, damn, I'm 35 and I don't know how to play an instrument. So they've been playing an instrument for like 5 years, and they're like, we should have a band. I'm like, you guys should be called the Midlife Crises, because that's what you all are. Yeah, during the Bush era with No Child Left Behind, he he said the Republicans like children, and not just with a side of ketchup. I was like, was that a Republicans eat children joke? Aren't you a Republican congressman? Aren't you my Republican congressman? Maybe tone it down a little bit while you're on the floor. But he unfortunately had some lazy staffers in the 2016. And they got he needed 25,000 signatures, and they got 33,000, but 10,000 were invalidated. He didn't get back on the election for 2016 for congressman. Or was it 2012? I don't remember. But yeah, Birdemic, Eric, you gotta see it. So
No, I'll pass.
So good.
No.
Have you seen the ratings for it on Amazon? They're pretty good.
No.
Yeah, dude, check the reviews. It's a good movie.
Have you guys seen The Hunt yet?
No, not
No. You're not paying for shit.
Check it out, man. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Ah, fuck. Okay.
I don't have anything else. We good?
yet. I think we're good. You want to throw up the link? And
I think so, too.
Yeah, let's
Somebody come join in.
Let's
Keep
get
me
the,
company till 12 o'clock when I go to bed.
Come on in. You'll get to hear Jay Fry's story about that he can't tell us on a public forum.
Oh, this is true.
it's not really a story.
Wait.
It's sentences.
But wait, is that a good thing, though? I'm not sure. I don't always enjoy J. Fry stories.
Literally, that's what they show up for.
Say goodnight, everybody.
I said not always. Good night, everybody.
If you're not showing up for an hour of me rambling about stupid shit, you're in the wrong place.
Say goodnight, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, everybody.